Hi, everyone. You good? For those who I haven't met yet, my name is Joey Petrick, and I've known Kyle since I was around 10 years old. He was my childhood neighbor, but he quickly became the older brother that I never had. I'm honored to serve as his best man. And it's been wonderful to see the outpouring of love and support for Kyle and Sara from their family and friends on display here this weekend. It's been so fun to meet you all already, and hopefully after this toast, we'll know each other a little bit better. We are also grateful to Sara and Kyle for making this all happen, especially with all the challenges you've dealt with the past 2 years, COVID, childbirth, the work of rescheduling everything. Shout out to the venue here too, all the staff, everyone else involved today as well for putting on this memorable event. And a special thanks also is owed to Sara and Kyle's parents for making this incredible wedding possible many, many years ago. You know, when they were born. Plenty of words could be used to describe Kyle, especially if you ask him. The ones I choose are brilliant, benevolent, and brave among them, which I think can all be summed up in one word: Bootsy. I mentioned Boots was always like a brother to me, and he's evolved into a caring father, a loving husband. His dedication and passion for the people he loves is the unifying trait that's got us all here tonight. So let's talk about how we got here today. Our friendship, as most young men do, started over wrestling, sports, and video games, of course. Like a true older brother, Boots destroyed me in video games, like Smash Brothers or Madden, until I became good enough to put up a fight. He'd tell me, "This isn't even my final form." He'd beat me again and again. He would go between practicing wrestling moves on me and also enlisting my help to orchestrate elaborate tag team matches at sleepovers. And when we weren't wrestling, we would play one-on-one all day, every day, throughout the neighborhood. And I'll never forget this epic summer basketball series that we called the Battlegrounds of Heartland Avenue. That culminated with Boots hitting this game-winning shot right in my backyard as he's falling into the grass, only to emerge covered in leaves and to cut an epic heel promo right on me. We still call that the shot to this day, and little did we know that all these years later that we would be sharing this moment at a wedding with Boots and his wife. He went on to become a man of Benedictine at our alma mater. Unknowingly, Kyle was the big reason that I followed him to the home of champions. Little did I know, my mother cornered him in the way home from practice one day and asked him to list all the pros and cons of the school. He made sure to tell her about the academics and the athletics, while conveniently omitting the shenanigans one can expect at an all-boys Catholic school. Shenanigans like one time Boots wrote a paper about Spider-Man versus Wolverine and it being this allegory about larger societal issues, and let me tell you, that was not the assignment. It was supposed to be about the Vietnam War. And it was completely off topic, but it was so well written that the teacher gave him a passing grade anyway. So who wouldn't want to go to a school where I could write papers on comic books, win state championships, and then go off to college? And when the time came and I graduated, Kyle came home from the University of Akron just to attend my graduation. And I will always remember, he had this giant fro, and he and I would just hit these Hulk Hogan poses for our pictures at my graduation. And even though I was just this high school teenager, Kyle was this college co-ed that was too cool for school, he always kept in touch and would ask how I'm doing in life in school. So fast forward, Kyle's out of college, he's figuring out his life and career in Minnesota. Right, where he met a lot of you. And after a particularly cold, lonely, frozen, dark, long, did I say cold? Minnesota winner. He did what a lot of millennials did at the time to find girls. Joined OkCupid. And that's where he met Sara. And they should be like one of those success story testimonials, you know, that you see in the commercials. He was just so happy. He would tell me he finally found someone who loved to travel and play games just as much as he did. She would not only put up with his love for wrestling and other sports, but also support him and enjoy them together. Sara inspired him artistically to try creative things. Kyle started doing freelance writing, got into social media marketing. He even started doing a weekly fantasy football newsletter with me, and that turned into a podcast. And this silly weekly podcast, we would perform for maybe an audience of 10 people at most. And as Kyle would say, that juice wasn't worth the squeeze. But again, Kyle credited Sara for being the one that brought that out of him. She even used her graphic design skills to make logos for every single team in our fantasy football league. And as you can see, our childhood love of sports and games blossomed into a family affair that we took way too seriously, and still do. I remember Sara and Kyle took a summer trip to Europe. I think they went to England, Croatia, Amsterdam, almost ended up stuck in Denmark for an entire week. The pictures and stories will be an experience that they cherish for the rest of their lives. But all I remember is Kyle waking up in the wee hours of the European night to draft a fantasy football team with me on spotty airport Wi-Fi in like London or Edinburgh or something like that. And when just 1 year before he was drafting at the Blondes vs. Brunettes charity Flip Cup tournament, also shout out to the Brutang clan. Again though, just like when he went to college and came back for my graduation, Kyle always found time. He was dedicated, he was passionate. 7 years after meeting Sara, they now have a beautiful son, Kenton, AKA something real clever this week, I'm sure. And I'm just glad to see that my big brother from Heartland Avenue all those years ago has grown into such a happy and full human being, thanks to the lady standing next to him. So please join me in toasting to this amazing couple. To the bride and groom, may I wish you health, may I wish you happiness, may I wish you long-lasting prosperity, and everything else you could wish for. May your love always be added, may it never be subtracted, and may your household multiply, and may your hearts never be divided. Cheers.
Cheers.